Hey everybody, hope everybody is doing well out there. Man, oh man, we've had a bit of consolidation, a bit of a pullback, depending on where you are in some of the cryptos. So we're going to be talking about MAFIA today, which is the big news out today. So we're going to get into that to kick it off, and then we're going to do the market updates after the MAFIA, and of course then Titan. So that's a run up today. Let's see who's in the chat there. I posted all the links, of course, to BNB. We'll talk about that. We got Brian in the house. Hey, Brian, hope you're doing well. What's up, folks? And yeah, number 2, says Wookie. Number 2. We got MB in the house as well. Morning, family. Good to see you all in the house here. Let's go. Let's get into it. Without further ado, we're going to cover MAFIA and stay tuned for the market updates later on crypto, Pulsechain, and Titan. So let's get into it. Morning fam, bam from MV. Now, the big news. MAFIA has really gone big. This is just rolling out as we understand it in different phases. But we've got the MAFIA map here has just shown up. But before we get to the MAFIA map, let's go to the exchange. That is pretty awesome here. Let me just switch around here. And let's go into the exchange. So yeah, at the moment you can, this has popped up. So if you're on BNB, it popped up on BNB first last night. It is now on Pulsechain. You can convert your in-game assets. I repeat, your in-game assets. You can see that there are a number of steps to the launch of the exchange office. And of course, you've got the deposit and withdrawals. They'll be coming last as far as we understand it. What we're expecting to come later today. So that's later today is the OTC trade. So that's over-the-counter trade. That is expected later on today sometime. So that's coming up. And, of course, keys coming soon as well is going to be pretty important there too. So that's coming up. Now, this is part of the exchange office. This is phase number 6, pre-launch phase, right before the game launches, I think, which is phase 12. The game goes live. So we're at phase number 6 here with the exchange office. Now, you can take things like your money that you got through opening crates, and you can convert them at the moment for 0% fee. And of course, if you have a certain amount that you want to do, you can do more than one. Like you can hit all these. You can see that the grenade there is worth about how much money? 225,000 in-game currencies. And you can see at the top right there, there's in-game currency there. So that is where it will show up once you've converted it. So, but remember, once you've done that, the NFT that you're actually selling, in this case, the grenade, will be destroyed pretty much. So that's out of the game. So if everybody is doing conversions in in-game currency, those NFTs, those game assets are disappearing, poof, like that. So there is a trade-off. So imagine if everyone got rid of for example, a car, and there was hardly any cars around, for example. Cars are worth a lot in the conversion, so they're very high on the conversion. They were relatively cheap on the marketplace. So on the marketplace, they were relatively cheap. So people going over to the market and finding cars. So if you can go filter for cars, and they were, there used to be tons of cars on here for super cheap. Well, apparently not anymore. So there's a couple of reasonable cars here, $20, $50 here for $350. But there's hardly any cars. This used to be flooded full of cars. They are gone, and people that had been accumulating those cheap cars have now made a windfall, right? It has been a big winner for those that have been buying cars. Some of the other good items include bulletproof vests and other things like that. They're all pretty good money as well when you go to the exchange. So yeah, there's been winners and losers. That's what happens in a game. There are winners and losers, and that seems to be the case at the moment. So there we go. Obviously, 150 hard at the moment, and that is worth. So each one is worth different prices. And of course, if you that's worth 900,000, so it's worth more than the grenade, as you would expect. And then bullets as well. Bullets is worth a certain amount. Let's see how much it is worth. That's 15,000 bullets. That's worth $7,500. Sorry, $7.5 million. That's worth a lot of money. Now we know that hearts and bullets are going to be tradable on DEX screeners. At the moment, we have MAFIA, but we know that that's going to be tradable on DEX screen. In fact, let's pull it up at the moment on the old chart. And we can pull up Pulse MAFIA and BNB MAFIA on the charts there. I'm going to put that back and where it belongs. And we can see that at the moment, MAFIA is gone up pretty nicely. We have got this launch phase, as you guys know. So let's go full screen on this. This is the chart at the moment. So we definitely had a big, nice bounce here a few people have been smart to pick up some Pulse. Still early days to pick up Pulse at the moment. This chart is still looking good with this news rolling out. It's going to be pretty epic. So that is the play there. That is the link. So that is linked to Pulse Mafia. And you can see that's still early days. So really nice cheap there and a huge upside, right? At the moment, of course, this is stage 6. So we have got the conversion. We're expecting the OTC later today. That's coming up. That's step 1. Step 2, deposit and withdrawals, right? And the update will include liquid cash for players. So we've got that, right? That's in the game. So that's what people can sell stuff for. Just be careful what you sell. It's going to be versus how scarce some of those items are. The other thing is that crates are still around, right? So people can buy crates using keys. Keys are $20 each. They can purchase keys there, and then they can use the key, right? Use the key. So they can do that. If you've got keys, you'll be able to do that. And there's still all the in-game assets here to people to win. So remember that this is part of the economy, right? So that is what's happening with the exchange. Now, if you do a certain amount of items, you may receive a bonus here. So you get a bonus, and it could be pretty big. So let's have a look, see whether there's any bonus on this one. Don't know, but you could get a bonus on there. I'm not sure what amount is. Maybe it's over 10 million or something. I don't know. But I think you get a bonus anyway. Maybe sometimes it doesn't show up. Maybe that's the case as well. So definitely some opportunities there. I'm not selling these items because they're all stuff I will need in the game. I'm not selling my bullets and my hearts. They're going to be tradable in the deck screener. They're going to be able to buy and sell them, right? I'm also going to need them if I'm going on an attack charge and I get hurt. Maybe I need some hearts or something like that. So that's kind of the idea there. And I'm going to have to throw that hand grenade at you. If you try to shoot me with a gun, that hand grenade's coming your way. That's all I can say. And yeah, I've got fast reflexes, so it's going to happen pretty fast. All right, so faster than a bullet, as they say, is what Superman says. Yeah, that's the kind of play. So this is huge. Really good update there today for that. So looking really good. What else are we going to say about that? I'm looking forward to the deposits and withdrawals. That's going to be a big stage. It's basically opening up the game to the economy, right? So people will be able to deposit resources from outside in the real world on deck screen from your wallets. And be able to withdraw as well. So it's going to be a lot of fun there. And the OTC trade is going to be very important for all the assets and stuff like that. So it's going to be a big deal. The keys, of course, are going to be huge for land, opening up the land in the map. So we're going to look at that in a second. It's going to be pretty fun. So we're moving forward. This is phase 6, and it's got a couple of steps to it, as we said, as we head towards the Mafia map. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Now, I forgot to say that I've got a poll up at the moment. On all 3 YouTube channels that we're streaming to. So on a Hex Token channel, will you play Mafia? Get in there and put a vote in that. We'll check that out later on. I've got yes, maybe, or nope. So get on that one. I've posted the links, of course, in the chat there if you guys want to, join up today. It's only 2,000 Mafia. It's so cheap, and you're getting in so early to this game. This is going to be the first Metaverse on Pulsechain. Remember that. It's a huge game. But think of it like Monopoly, building up your hotels and everything else and your houses and stuff. It's a big asset game and pay to earn, so it's massive. There's over $350,000 and probably will be up in $1 million by the time the game launches if we get this crypto rally going. It's going to be pretty massive. On Superman Crypto, also got that poll, so get in on that one too. And then also over on Pulsechain X, we've got that poll up there as well. So definitely get in and vote over there also. So kind of cool. All right, let's get into it. We've got the exchanges up there. So go play around with it. It's also on BNB. So it's on Pulsechain and BNB. And you can exchange in assets. But be careful what you exchange, right? Because there is a scarcity thing. If everyone's cashing in their NFTs for in-game currency, then there's going to be a scarcity in some of those items, right? So just remember that. That's also the case. So I just wanted to highlight that at the moment. Yeah, pretty awesome. Now, obviously the OTC is coming later today. Going to be very important. And yeah, so if you do, before we move on, if you do sell something, you'll get the money over the right-hand side. You click, once it's done, you click confirm conversion. It's going to cost you a little bit of Pulse, a little bit of BNB, depending on which chain you're on, and it will show up over here on the money. Now that money is going to be useful later on, right? So it's in-game currency. There's also going to be an exchange out to Mafia or into bullets or things like that. So there's going to be multiple exchange there. And of course, you can find more details in the game wiki, right? The game wiki will have all that. And you can see we're on exchange 6. Now, the cool thing is that it's got the green tick, right? So green tick on the exchange. We are processing. We've got multiple steps to go through. And there's all the taxes. So there's the taxes. We're going to have bullets and health soon. Pretty awesome. So that's all coming. Yep. And of course, the conversion there gives you 0% fee at the moment, at least. So that is kind of the play. So kind of cool. And that is by the exchange officer, right? So the exchange officer runs that conversion. That is what's been running here. So that's kind of neat there. Let's see, we've got that happening. So we're obviously expecting bullets to come as part of this phase 6 launch, bullets and hearts to launch. So that's coming soon. We've obviously got MAFIA trading at the moment. So you can buy and sell MAFIA. Remember, buying MAFIA is a 4.7% buy tax. You need a 5% slippage for that and a 16.7% sell tax. You need 20% slippage. Now that feeds the vault. So you're feeding the game itself. So if you win some of the vault, you're getting some of that back. So the way you can look at that. And bullets and health are coming soon. So I'm really excited about that. And that is part of this launch. Now you can see bullets and health in here are pretty cool. If you go to your profile as well, you will see that, what do we got here? You'll see that you'll have this little item down here on your wallet. So this is in-game inventory. So this is all at risk. You can see if you're playing the game. So if I got killed, the winner would take these off me. Now on the wallet there, we've got if you've got deposited or liquid staked MAFIA, but it's also got bullets and hearts now. So if you've got bullets and hearts, once it turns into currency, they'll show up over here, which is going to be pretty cool. So if you buy those on Deck Screener, that will be there. So some really awesome stuff happening there with the exchange. Now, as you can see, I've already, on this particular account, I've already converted a certain number of money, NFTs, and maybe some cars, turn them into some cold, hard in-game cash. And that's going to be useful to go and buy stuff and do other stuff in the game once we step forward into the game. So I'm really excited about that. Let's see if we've got any comments about this before we move on to the map teaser. Let's see here. Like I say, if you do a certain amount, you will get a bonus in that in the currency as well. So it's a big deal. Let me just scroll right back to the top here. We've got the MV. Feel my pulse. Let's do this. Hey, feel my pulse. Yeah, it's very excited. You got to remember that MAFIA is the first metaverse to Pulsechain. It's a play to earn. It's going to be pretty much, let me put it in this context, probably the #1 Web3 game in the world. That's what Jacob is creating here. So it's not worth sleeping on. It's going to be a big deal. We've got Crypto Fear says, yo, things are moving. MAFIA is going to be epic, 100%. Big shout out to you and the directorate there. King Poo in the house there. What else? We're going there. King Poo's in the house there. Appreciate you grinding, Superman. I appreciate that. Thanks, King Pooey. We all anticipate the Oracle and number generator for Pulsechain. Absolutely. What else we got going on here? This is a MAFIA show, so we're going to focus on the MAFIA as well as the rest of the crypto markets later on. Tintop's in the house there. What's up, Tintop? Hey, welcome to the chat there. What else there? We got Wookie says fast as, bro. Fast. It is fast. We got Craig in the house there. Morning all. Hey, Craig, good to see you. Hex as well. Hey, gang. Big shout out to you. Faster than a speeding bullet, and says Chris, and faster than a speeding bull run. I like that. It's Hex. Yeah, Hex is doing very well the last couple of days, isn't it? Really well. Could really move a lot higher very fast soon. So there's a number of mechanisms to do that. What else there? We got let's jump through some of that. All right, so kind of cool. Let me just go through some of those chats there. Yeah, try not to spam the chat there, King Pooey, please. There's too much stuff there. Appreciate that. All right, let's move on and let's get into it. So we're going to go to the map. So the map's coming up next, folks. So the map's coming up next. That's the next stage, right? So the next stage is the map, and you can see that here out of the 12 steps. So there's 12 steps before the launch. The map is up next, and that's going to be huge. So we're looking forward to that. But before we do that, we've still got quite a few stages of the exchange to be rolled out, and that's opening up the economy on the game and connecting it to the real world, or aka Deck Screener, where you're going to be trading, buying, and selling in there. So there's in-game economy, and there's going to be conversion rates to the external economy. In other words, MAFIA trading and stuff like that on Deck Screener. So it's going to be related to this. So pretty cool. Now we've also got MAFIA, of course, over on BNB. And this is the price chart of MAFIA at the moment. So we've got the same thing happening over on BNB. So if you're playing over in BNB, you can switch over to MAFIA there. And this is BNBMafia.io. So Pulsechain is PulseMafia.io. BNB Mafia is BNBMafia.io. That's playing on BNB. And of course, you can do that over there as well. It's got the exchange. So you can convert. So this account happens to have 250 cash, so I can convert that over into in-game currency. Not sure if I've got any BNB in this wallet. Let me just quickly check. No BNB, so I have to put some BNB to be able to do that. But that is what I could do there. OTC, once again, coming later on tonight. Now, the other thing, of course, is the map is going to be huge. We can't wait for it. It is 3D. And remember that. It's going to be 3D map. You're going to be able to zoom down to street level. It's going to have some incredible artwork and, of course, very different things happening in the economy. So maybe a business is at a certain stage of development. It's going to have different variations of that development. So really, really exciting. Basically like Monopoly on steroids from that point of view. And, of course, the game overall is going to be a bit like Game of Risk, but on steroids as well. Really, Jacob's trying to create the world's best Web3 peer-to-peer GameFi project on the planet, and it's on Pulsechain and playing on BNB as well. So it's going to be pretty epic. Now, obviously, we got the exchange rolling out today. OTC desk coming next. We're going to have the MAFIA map follow after that. Of course, we have hearts and bullets trading before then. And then, of course, we've got pre-ranking after that, stage 8, communication stage 9, killer simulator is number 10. And we've already hit the vault requirements for Pulsechain, which is 5 billion pulse. And of course, you can see that is the play to earn part of this game. Remember, there's two principal ways of making money on here. Play to earn, in other words, earn from the vaults and earn playing the game, killing somebody, taking their stuff and things like that. Or number 2, building up assets. In other words, building businesses, being a development, and kind of being like the Trump of the MAFIA, right? Building up big development there. And there's one industrialist for every city, so it's a pretty big deal. You can build up a huge wealth in property, right? Just like McDonald's, less about the margin they make selling McDonald's, but more about the location, and development that they do there. So we're going to have a similar thing in here. There's going to be a big, giant land rush, big gold grab of land, and you don't know what you're going to get. You are able to choose the city that you want to go into, so that's important, but you just don't know what the quality of land will be. So there's lots of stuff coming up, and this is going to be absolutely epic. I know there's going to be a big land rush. If everyone paid $20 for a key at the moment, that's going to be well over $220,000 just for the 1,000 spots in each city. So it's going to be a big game. Obviously, there's 300 to 400 other sites as well. They're going to be in the game that are industrial sites, right? So, or commercial sites, as one might want to call it. So land titles will come up. So yeah, we've got 1,000 user titles in each city. It's going to be allocated by a random number generator market. We're also going to have infrastructure titles, 100 to 400 of those, and of course environment titles as well. These are pre-placed, so just remember that. And of course raid spots as well. So there will be business tiles. Those are the ones that people are going to be after. Going to be 10 of those. If you get one of those, you're going to be very happy indeed, and you'll no doubt share in some of the inflation from the game. So it's going to be absolutely huge from there. The buildings, of course. Let me just scroll down. I think we've got more. Yeah, we've got the little clip here of some of the 3. This is just one tile in the game. So it's obviously going to be, well over 10,000. I think it's like 15,000 or so. 15, 11. Yeah, it's going to be heaps of them. Let me just do the maths on here. Yeah, so it's going to be 16,500 tiles at least in this game from the looks of it. So it could be absolutely massive. And, of course, that is a good clip of what one might look like there with the cars and everything else. So don't sell all your cars because you have to drive somewhere, right? So you don't want to sell all your cars. Just take that into account if you're doing the conversion. The other thing, of course, you've got the buildings. Buildings are going to be huge. You can see that there's going to be able to upgrade from sheds. You will have to upgrade costs, so the in-game currency will be important for upgrading. You're going to have houses, villas, apartment blocks, mansions, office buildings, large hotels. All requires in-game currency. And, of course, you can see the in-game currency up in the top right here. So you're going to need that to be able to upgrade. At the moment, I got about 5 million there, so I could upgrade to an apartment block if I was lucky enough. Remember, there's always a time delay between developments. So it's 2 days. So if I went from a villa to apartment block, it's going to be another 2 days where I can do something else, like doing a mansion, for example. So there's that time delay as well, which is kind of cool to see. Pretty cool. There's also going to be a MAFIA requirement as well, MAFIA token. So there's a lot of economic energy required. MAFIA is going to be in big demand. And you can see that here, MAFIA requirement. So it's going to be pretty important there. All upgrade prices are subject to change. Upgrade a hotel to family HQ is only available at full game launch. Just remember that. So that stage is last year. What is the MAFIA requirement? Each building stage requires a certain amount of stake MAFIA token to operate. So remember that. You're going to have to stake. If you're going to have some of these big businesses in the game, you're going to have to have MAFIA stake there. So the time is to buy it now, right? While you can. And you can't complain later on saying, I didn't know about it because I'm telling you now. So there we go. That's the chart for MAFIA. This is the one on BNB. So I'll post this one as well. So bam. All right. Yeah, Nick Brennan is here, one of my mods, and Archie, of course, another one of our mods, and of course the Don of Dons, the head of the most powerful MAFIA families on the MAFIA game, both on Pulsechain and BNB. It's Archie the Don. Woo! Big shout out to Archie, doing crushing it out there. All right, so that is the play at the moment. So really, really important that you take that into account. So if you want to get your MAFIA, get it while you can. Now you can get something like 3 times more MAFIA on BNB versus Pulsechain at the moment. So we'll see how that goes moving forward. But at the moment, a really good entry at the moment on that one. And you will need it if you're going to develop. If you want to become rich, development rich in the MAFIA game, but you will need to be able to stake MAFIA there. So you're going to need at least a few 100,000, right, to do one of these buildings. Very, very cool. So each building stage requires a certain amount of MAFIA stake to operate. You can think of it as an operating cost. MAFIA stake can be ended at any time, and you can reclaim 100% of your MAFIA from the building. When the building is not in operation, all defense powers are inactive. So there's a cost for that, and that means that it could be under attack. Right? So that's not great. What's the cost of upgrading? The upgrade of your tile, you spend in-game currency. There's a one-time deflationary fee that you won't get back. So if you do upgrade to the next building, you won't get this money back, right? That's deflation. So even though people at the moment are using the exchange to get money, in-game money, that's one of the ways they'll be able to get in-game money. They will, if they're going to upgrade their buildings, they will be gone, that money. So there is a huge economy in this game. It's going to be really awesome to see that. Can I lose my tiles and buildings? Yes, when you are killed. So if you do get killed, the tiles and buildings are up for grabs. When you get killed, your tile resets to default and it's now claimable again. This creates a deflationary impact on assets inside the protocol. So remember that there's a lot of deflationary things. How does my buildings work together with other assets? Having ownership of the tiles in combination with each other in the close proximity to your family will greatly improve your defense powers. It's going to be very important. There are multiple booster features that adds extra defense to your tile. So it's going to be pretty important. You can see another cool image of some of the in-game play. The first Metaverse. And this is a huge thing, right? People are going to be looking to development. It's going to be big, big, big. And a lot of people are going to have fun playing that as well as earning some mad gains as well. So it's going to be a lot of fun. There will be city zones, right? So it's going to be each city is divided into 4 zones. All user own tiles will have one of these 4 classifications: common, middle class, upper class, and elite. Just remember that. And there will be building designs and variants. This means it's a huge 3D game, right? Huge Metaverse on Pulsechain and BNB. It's going to be pretty epic. So I'm looking forward to each building stage. Has 3 different variants based on the zone tile you're positioned in. You'll get a variant design. So it's going to be really, really interesting visually to look at as well as the development side. There's obviously connectors are going to be very important in the game. Obviously, you've got to have all your sites, your lands connected to each other to make you more powerful, more defense. There's going to be raid spots as well. They're going to probably be very important. City developer. If you become the #1 developer in the city, remember there's 2 sides to this game: the play to earn and the asset building value. But like Trump, building value through development. Then you could become the city developer. That's going to give you a lot of extra bonuses in terms of your defense and things like that. So yeah, it's going to be, and kudos, a lot of kudos there for that. Specifications coming soon. Vault suspension. Now, if you can't house all your family, this is more for the dons in the family, but if you can't house all your family members, the vaults payment could be suspended. That's a big, big deal. So we'll see how that goes. And of course, this is it. If you're in the game, why would you develop so much? Well, obviously you can, get a high value asset, but you can also earn some of the city inflation. So if you own a hotel or office building, you will earn city inflation payout every 24 hours. So it's pretty awesome. All visitors of a city needs a place to stay. Owners of hotels and offices will earn a fixed amount of cash per 24 hours based on how many users are currently present in the city. So if a city is being developed more, it will probably have a lot more income earning because people want to go there, right? So that's kind of thing. Make sure your buildings are in active operation, otherwise you won't earn any. Now you obviously have to have MAFIA stake for that, so it's going to be a pretty big deal there as well. So example here is $100 million in inflation, in-game currency, 10 cities. Obviously that's $10 million each, pretty much flat there. That's kind of the idea. So, these buildings are going to be a big, big deal. People are going to be wanting to build this. This is a huge part of the asset game. You're going to earn inflation. If you do office buildings and things like that, it's going to be a big, big deal there. So well worth checking out. Now that's coming up for the map. So that's kind of the teaser for the map. that is coming up, and this was updated last night, so that's really cool. But of course, at the moment, we've got phase 6. Map is phase 7. Phase 6 has got the conversion, and yeah, just be careful what you convert in terms of in-game money, because you might need it. You might, if you convert all your cars, you've got no car to drive around in. You're an idiot. Well, yeah, I guess you could go try and buy one later on, but you get my point. You've got to be, you just think about how rare something might be, etc., all that sort of things. So kind of cool. That is the play. Next step later today is over the OTC desk. Looking forward to it. I think it's going to be pretty exciting. And of course, the first update there as well. I like the new updates. There's MVS. Yeah, it looks very, very cool. So this is going to be a big game, big metaverse coming to Pulsechain. And of course, you know, the metaverses out there, Sandbox and things like that. It's going to be pretty cool. So it's coming to Pulsechain. It's going to be big. All right, so that is it. And you got to remember that the vault is getting bigger all the time, right? So the game vault for the pay to earn side is getting bigger all the time. Look at that, $242,000. That's just on Pulsechain, 5.6 billion pulse there. And of course, I think this is going to get even bigger. So the more volume is going to go into it, and the price of pulse will probably go up a lot. You could easily see this heading towards the $1 million+ mark. It's going to be pretty awesome. Remember, 10% of that goes to the families here. You know, top 5 families get allocated 10% every week of that vault. So that's $25,000 pretty much. So that's going to get allocated to these families. And of course, the top 5, the top one gets 30%, all the way down to the bottom one gets 10% there. So it's going to be a lot of fun. That's just on Pulsechain. On BNB, of course, you got the same thing happening. And if we go to the vaults, let's see how much money is in the play to earn side of this game. Remember, there's 2 sides of this game. There's the metaverse, build your asset wealth, a bit like Trump building Trump Tower in New York. You become valuable that way and earn some of the inflation, or you play to earn. You join a family, you kill people, you buy and trade assets on the markets. There's all these 2 different big ways of making money. If you do both of them together, of course, you are going to make potentially a lot of mad gains there. There's 147 BNB. I think there's around about $90,000 over there at the moment. Now, this will probably be a lot bigger by the time the game starts. So just take that into account. There are a few things coming this way. And of course, 10% of that will get paid out to, which are what, $9,000 or so a week to the top 5 families you can see at the moment. And of course, 30% to the top one, 10% to the bottom one there. But remember, they've got to have enough properties and houses to house their family. Otherwise, they could be suspended from earning any payments. So that could be, you know, it's going to put the pressure on the families to do activity, right? Otherwise, they won't earn anything. So that's inspiring people to build. So there we go, folks. That is the kind of play. Now, there's obviously going to be a big land rush. People are going to use their keys, opening up a lot of land. So that's going to be a big deal. But in the meantime, we were waiting for the exchange to complete its payout. It's steps there. We've got the OTC, as we say. We've got the OTC desk. And then, of course, we're going to have OTC decks is later. OTC trades is later on. Then we're going to have deposit withdrawals, the keys, and of course the bullets and the hearts will be tradable on Deck Screener. Woohoo! And then we're going to have probably a whole ton of conversion rates, right, between all these assets and the inflation in the game. So it's really going to be a huge economy. I'm looking forward. It's going to be a lot of fun. So that's pretty much my coverage of it today. And of course, as we get more, we'll be talking more about that. And of course, the price is so friendly to get in right now. Not just financial, but do your own due diligence, all that sort of stuff. But it's going to be pretty exciting. Now, the other thing I was going to say is if you want a lot of cool insights on how to play the game, well, our very own Don, the Archie, has put MAFIA HQ. And of course, you can go through all that and learn a lot about how to play the game and the insides of it out. So definitely check that out. And all the links, of course, in the chat there. I posted them earlier. So that is Pulse Mafia. You only need 2,000 Mafia. So it's only like $1 or $2 or something to join, to make a player. You can join a family. You don't have to join a family. You can do that. And of course, you can also play on BNB. So you can, it's 2,000, it's like 70 cents or something over there to join. It's really early. But what won't be like that in the future, maybe it's going to be $5 or $10, depending on the price. So you got to get in early on that. And think about your strategies, building up a portfolio, getting that money. And of course, you can get a passive income, earning that every week. That's kind of the idea here. And of course, looking for scale. Now, that's the MAFIA HQ. That's if you want to get to this document, it's going to give you all the tidbits. Also, it goes through all the families too. So if you want to join families, you can click chapter 4, basics, and you can scroll down. I think there's a link here to the families. And you can join up. You're joining a family there, and you can hit join a family on this. Click that, and it's going to have all the families on both BNB there, and it's also going to have the families on Pulse MAFIA, at least the top 10, and you're going to be able to hit any of those, right? So if you want to go join the syndicate, which is the family I'm in, then you can click on that, and then you can go to the Telegram, right? So you can go to the Directorate Recruitment, click on that, and it will bring up the Telegram, and you can go join. And our very own Capitacina, Max Payne, him and his team will help onboard you. So cool. And there's no fee at the moment. So I'll post a link to join the Directorate in the chat, and you can do that. So that's pretty much it on that one. We're going to obviously get into the markets now, but that is the link if you want to join up to our family today. We've got 3 families on BNB, 3 families on Pulsechain. We are domination. Everyone fears us, and they have a good reason. We have the most powerful Don of Dons, Archie, and of course, people do know that he's not someone to mess with. He's already taken out a number of people when the game hasn't even started. So just remember that he is doing a good stuff there. What else there? We've got Brendan says, I wonder if there will be an option in the future to own a car dealership. Look, there's probably going to be more businesses, more type of businesses in the game. It's just like any game. It's going to evolve and develop, have waves of new releases, and that will probably include different type of businesses that are not in the game at the moment. So absolutely, I expect that to be something coming down the line there. Great coverage today, says probably you. I appreciate that. Big shout out. Great job, says MV. Hey, thanks so much there. Yeah, this game is really exciting, and we're all early, and the game has huge potential to be the #1 Web3 peer-to-peer DeFi game in the world. And it's going to be on Pulsechain, which is fantastic, and of course playing on BNB as well. All right, we're going to get into the crypto markets. Let's go, and quickly we're going to race through all these. We've got stock market first. We had, what do we got here? S&P 500 ends lower. Stock takes a breather. It's had quite a rally, right? So we've got the Dow Jones at the moment down 0.7%, 300 points almost to 41,900. The S&P 500 down 0.2%, 10 points to 5,722. And the NASDAQ is pretty much flat there today, up 10 points to 18,084. That's got all the tech companies in it. So a bit of a mixed result today between those. Powell, that's Powell, the chairman of the SEC. Several Fed officials are set to speak in the coming days. Jerome Powell himself, the chair. So it's going to be pretty cool. What else there? We've also got the PCE price data on Friday. So these are the big stuff that we're looking forward to, right? That's the big stuff we're looking forward to there. Let's go to the commodities quickly. We've got the US dollar is back over 100 on the index. It went below that yesterday, as you guys know. It was a big deal. But let's go to the commodities, see how they're going. We got West Texas oil at $70 and Brent oil at $73. Pretty much flat those. Gold is flat as well, $2,682, and silver is up 0.7%, 22 cents to $32.24. Now, with the lower interest rates, we expect the US dollar devaluation over time, and that would be a bull run pretty much for silver and gold, which have already sort of broken out already. So that's going to be fun to see where they go. Maybe $75 plus for silver in the year ahead, maybe even up to 125. We'll still see. That's kind of the stock market today. Obviously, we've got that big inflation news coming on Friday, plus Jerome Powell speaking more about that later in the week. So that's kind of where we are at the moment. Now, moving to crypto, Bitcoin taking a bit of a breather. It was over 64K yesterday, down 1.6% at the moment at 63,270. Bitcoin dominance is just below 55%. We got Ethereum at the moment down 2.66% at $2,579. Everything is down a couple of percentage points. Solana down 3%, BNB down 2.8%. Remember, Solana, I think, was up 5% yesterday, so it's down. What else? So that's pretty much it across the board there. ADA down 2% as well. That is it on the old crypto. And we're not going to the main chains. We're just racing through this because we're going to go tight next after this. We've got Pulsechain tight next to cover. Looking at the meme coins, obviously, we're looking at that. So we've got Dogecoin at the moment. Below it was 16 billion yesterday, I think. So it's just down a little bit there. Yeah, just under 15.9 billion at the moment. Still up for the week, though. We've had a lot of movers in the week. As you can see, a dog with hat up 26%, doing pretty well. Let's see what else is big movers. Popcat on Solana up 18.9%, but down today 5%. The Mu coin there up 36%, up 3% today. Mod coin up 33% today, but down. A lot of them are down today, but there's a few of them that are up. For the week, though, still up 11%. Pep coin up 25% for the week, down slightly today. Dogs on Rune. Now, this is the big mover. So this is the one we're picking for the win, right? Dogs on Runes on Bitcoin. and it is up 22% for the week and 7.6% for the day. It's back at 0.3 of a penny. I think the bottom's in for this one, right? Called it yesterday. It turned out pretty well, and it's back on their sense. They're still super cheap, and of course we know that they're trying to get on Kraken. They've got some development work to get that happening, but if they get that tier 1 exchange, this thing's probably going to run away. And in a bull market where Bitcoin goes to maybe 90, 100K, or even 150 to 180K, this dog meme coin on Bitcoin, the top one at the moment, could really fly, and maybe even challenge Dogecoin itself for #1 spot. So that is something in the future there, doing pretty well. Total market cap on crypto, 2.21 trillion, down 2%. Volume at 65 billion, down 12% today on the old crypto. That leads us into, Pulsechain. I said we're going to race through these markets. We got Pulsechain at day 503. We got the price there at quadruple 0433, down 1%. We got Pulsex at quadruple 0231, down 2.5%. Total buy and burn. Look at this. Woohoo! We're at what? Are we a day away? Maybe 2 days? We're at 998. You saw it, 998.1 billion. Pulsex is now being bought up and burned. 4.9% of the public supply. We are so close to 1 trillion OMG. That is amazing. So good stuff happening there. Incentive token, $2.12 is down 2%, and the ratio at 49,128. So half of that move, just over half of that move, is the price of Pulse. The other half is just slightly down on the ratio there, the Pulse chain. The total amounts of coins has not been updated. We're still sitting at 43 million. That sort of seems to be lagged every couple of days. Hex is still shining bright. Hex has been the big mover, and it is sitting at just under 87 of a penny, taking a bit of a consolidation breather at the moment. But it was up big time yesterday, had a nice little rally again, and it is up 1.75% at the moment. EHEX at the moment, 21 of a penny, it's down slightly from yesterday. Total combined price is at 1.08 cents, so still just under 1.1 cents for the combined price at Hex. Hex has been shining and could do some explosive things in the weeks ahead after it has a bit of a cool off. But there are another number of mechanisms that can move Hex up pretty strongly as well. So kind of cool. And of course, we called that that would happen on this chain. So there we go. We've got gas at the moment down back to normal. We've had really high gas on Pulsechain lately, even though it's super cheap compared to Ethereum. We're pretty low now. It is back to normal, 158,000, 0.2 of a penny for a Pulsex swap. Gwei on Ethereum has been quite high in the teens. It is 11 Gwei at the moment. We're 4,100 times cheaper than Ethereum, so really cool there. And that's perfect for MAFIA Metaverse, right? And having cheap transactions and fast transactions is very important for the Metaverse type of games, right? So really cool there. Valid is still sitting at 48,730, so we're still looking pretty good there. Full DeFi chain is a Pulsechain, right? It's a full fork of system state fork of Ethereum. The bridge has been our big one there. We're down from yesterday. We were over 105 million, just down slightly there, 104.7 million. Obviously, ETH has come back a little bit there, and Wrap Bitcoin has as well. EHEX is also down slightly, so it's probably our biggest movers. The DAI looks pretty much the same as yesterday, so looking pretty good there. In fact, it looks maybe even slightly up. So that is kind of where we are there as well. I think the USDC might be up slightly too, if I can't remember what it was, but that's kind of where we are. All right, so that is day 503. Woo! Let's go to the rest of Pulsechain. The Hex derivatives, we've got a little bit of movement on the 10-year one there, the Hex mining pool up 2.8%, the 3-year one there up 2%, and the 7-year one up 2%, and the 3-year one up 1.6%, and of course Maximus, the 15-year one for the Hex mining pool up 1.5%. Remember, Maximus is something for your children because this thing will be the #1 whale with the Hex gold whale out in the future in the 2030s. So let's just take that into account. All right, let's jump over to the stable coins. We had quite the movement in USD Tether and USDC. They have taken the lead against PDAI, which is pretty interesting. Normally, PDAI led these speculative dollar coins, but USD Tether is up 40.5% today. USDC up 22%, and PDAI, which used to lead the pack, is up 21%. So some funny stuff happening there, eh? Some funny stuff happening there in the market. And look at that price chart there on the hourly. That's the hourly chart. Is that crazy? Looking to the daily there. Look at that. Woohoo! Oh, dog and a dog. So this is a pretty good rally. Man. So that's been some mad gains for people that are holding USD Tether on Pulsechain. Look at that. That is up 263% in 3 weeks. So pretty awesome return there. That's a 3.6x in 3 weeks. So 1x a week. Yeah. See your doctor. 1x a week. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, some pretty interesting stuff. PDAI at the moment just lagging behind, but it's still got a nice 22% gain today. is sitting there as well. And of course, we'll be looking for that to try and get to that 1 cent mark, right? So let's go full screen on that. Remember to check the RSI to see if it's oversold or not. I didn't check that, but there we go, or overbought. But that is PDI at the moment. We're going to make that go for 1 cent, right? You can see it's slowly getting there. It's slowly getting there. Now, we'd obviously had a big spike down the other day, but yeah, let's keep watching for that. Moving to influencer coins. The only one really moving today is more from Travon, up 9.4%, and SolidX is up almost 8%. Now, SolidX, remember, is going to have that big crash game coming to Pulsechain, multi-chain, as I understand it. That's from DragonX founder Eric. So that's going to come to SolidX. So this could be a nice little accumulation pickup on SolidX. Remember, it did over $260 when it first launched in the first 10 days. So that could do some magic leading in towards the end of the year once that game launches. So we shall see. It's going to be a classic crash game, but I think it's going to be a bit different. So take it down to account. That is pretty much on the table. Let's go to overall on Pulsechain before we wrap this up. On the old market updates here, we're going to get the Titanx next. Let's go here. So we've got $20 million in volume, 312,000 transactions. So yeah, things are really boomed on Pulsechain. It's really doing some good numbers now, and we can only go up from here again, right? So kind of cool. What else? We talked about all of the top performers, USDC. Diehard's doing well. That's up by 20%. And why? Because it earns PDI reflections, and PDI's up 22%, right? Teddy Bear here, the meme coin here from the one that Moon King likes, the big influencer. That's up 18% today, so it's doing pretty well. BFF is up as well, 12%. UFO there related to PDC is up 12%, not bad there. Affection is up there as well, the meme coin, 12%. Pine is also up 11%. MAFIA, of course, has had a nice move, making the leaderboard there, up 10%. Still super cheap on MAFIA, of course. PDRIP, the ROI protocol, up 10%. But it's, it's pretty low off the bottom there. I mean, it's only $1.32 now. Remember, that used to be like $30, $40 or something. It was way higher. PDC, of course, pretty much is it the top performer, one of the top for sure, is up 9%. And of course, still doing very strong there on that. So lots of good moves happening on Pulsechain at the moment. And I think the sentiment's just really turning, is it? Do you guys feel the sentiment turning? It really does look good. Now, moving to Hex on the Hex payout. We've got today's results from the looks of it. Wow, how about that? We've got today's results out in time. 7.36 Hex today. We had 7.37 Hex yesterday. That's pretty cool. On Pulsechain, we still haven't got the data for the last 2 days, so we're missing that. So yeah, just the way it goes. It's sort of updating intermittently there. That is the Pulsechain Hex update. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Now we're going to get into the final part of the show. What do you guys reckon? Before we do that, let's get into a couple more comments. We've got Mr. Jockey, Rock Jockey now, there with the heart. Good to see you, Mr. Rock Jockey. And we've got Max Payne, the Capitacina of the Directorate, and of course running the big four families, the Syndicate, the Yakuza, the Hustlers, and the Illuminati. So big shout out to Max Payne. If you're going to be onboarding onto a game, so if you're going to join our game, there's the link to join. You will be meeting Max Payne, and his team are amazing. They are running a lot of stuff in our family. So big shout out to Max, and keep up the great work. All right, so that's kind of cool. Let us get in and pull in the Titanx update. We have 43 minutes on the hour, so we're doing great time here right now. And let's pull in some of the stuff because it's doing pretty awesome. In fact, I just realized I'm in the wrong chart. So let's pull this up. I'm going to pull that up. We're going to talk about that in a minute. We go full screen on that, and I pull it over. Just get this queued up before I get to it, so that you guys don't have to watch me trying to set it up. Set it up there. All right, so let me get over to the price charts and pull this in. Bam, bam, bam. Here we go. Titanx. It is exploding. Had a bit of a pullback overnight, but that gives opportunity for new people to come in, right? New people. Should we change the background? Let's do that while we're here. Let's change it for Titanx, shall we? I don't know if I've got a Titanx one in here, but we'll put a dragon. We'll do a dragon. In fact, let's do the Dragon X dragon, eh? There we are. Dragon X dragon behind us. Does that mean we have to change the colors as well? Shall we? Shall we do it? Yeah, let's do it. Let's do the colors, and let's go. Let's go dark green. How about that? That's pretty good. All right, there we go, folks. That's how quickly it was. All right, so we got the top performers at the moment, last 24 hours. Now, obviously, Pulsechain's going to have a consolidation. Well, Titanx ecosystem on Ethereum has had a bit of a pullback after huge rallies, and it's always healthy to have that, right? It also means that the buy and burns are more effective, generally speaking, and it also means that people can start miners more cheaply, especially if they're using Ethereum, right? Because that's what people are using to enter protocols like Hyper. it's cool for that. And it's cool generally for people, to get more opportunities to get in a bit cheaper for the next round, as we're expecting. So there's some good stuff happening here in Hyper. Also, so we've got the top performer in 24 hours is Legion X. We had an interview with the founder there the other day, the Rudy, and that's up 33%. Dragon X is number 2. It's only down 3.6%. JakeX number 3 there, the meme coin. So JakeX is related to the Legion X. So that's from Rudy, the developer. That is only down 4% at the moment. Hyper is the leverage play on Titan X. And you use ETH to go into that. That is down 5.8%. Baby Dragon X, kind of a meme coin there, I think, on Dragon X. And that is down 6.3%. Titan X is the medium of exchange, right? So that is the medium of exchange. If Dragon X is a store of value or the super whale, Titan X is the medium of exchange. That is down 6.8%. That means if Titan X goes down with versus ETH, then the US price is lower. So that's going to drag all the projects above it. So in other words, all these other projects built on top of Titan X, they will go down US dollars as well, unless their ratio changes, right? That's kind of the idea there. Alias is down 11% there at the moment. And of course, a bit of a wild horse, that one. A lot of people are talking about that maybe being a good time to get in on that. And pretty easy to pick up a decent position on that one. Janus is related to Helios, right? But it's on Pulsechain. It's got a big LP pools arbitrage. Very, very cool. So Pulsechain does really well. Janus is likely to become a very big asset-driven arbitrage protocol, a bit like PDDC. So keep a lookout for that too. Hydra at the moment is built on top of Dragon X and Titan X. That is down 17% today. Inferno, of course, is kind of like a Dragon X, but maybe let's call it it's not a baby Dragon X, but it's its own thing, ecosystem on Titan X, but it's kind of like a store of value. And of course, it's required to also have a lot of protocols built on top of it, etc., which are expected. That is down 7.5% today. And of course, Flux, which has been built on top of Inferno, so it's the first one. That is down 28% today, but doing very well. And we're going to look at that. And then finally, the Blaze, which is also from the Blaze team, which has done Inferno and Flux. That is down 44% today. Now that requires ETH to go in there, right? So that's an ETH miner. You get ETH as rewards, so it's a little bit different. So those are where the rankings are in the 24 hours. But if you change it to 6 hours, you can actually see the orders changed around quite a bit. If you thought about that, you've got Flux at the top there, and Blaze and Inferno. So all the ones that were at the bottom on 24 hours are actually the better performers over the last 6 hours. That's kind of the inverse. And there it was, we kind of flipped it around a little bit there. We've still got Titan X and Dragon X, and so it's kind of in the middle. And Legion X, which was better on 24 hours, kind of in the middle there as well. So some interesting things happening there. Repricing. On the way down, they go down further, but on the way back up, they seem to be climbing faster. So that's kind of the play, a general commentary on that. Now that is where the price is at the moment. We're going to come in and have a look at a few of those. But before we do that, let's have a look at the roadmap that's coming up, because the next protocol we've got coming out is the Vault. And it's going to benefit Dragon X. So another one coming on Dragon X. We already had Hydra, right? And we've had Flux. Remember, Hydra benefits Dragon X. It gives 20% towards staking, making Dragon X a big super whale, getting a bigger payout of the 369 coming up on the 30th of October. And then we also have, it's getting 20% burned as well through the remaining stuff from Dragon X. So that's going to really, really mean that the number of Dragon X tokens is less. So it's really bullish for that. We got Flux, of course, is feeding the buy and burn into Dragon X as well. 4% of what goes into the Fluxified Titan X is also burning that. And now we've got Vault coming up. That's also going to benefit Dragon X as well. So, Dragon X getting a lot of love here. And that's what we're looking forward to. That's coming up on the 28th. Now, I may or may not have the founder for Vault coming on the show. We'll see. I have put out an invite, so we'll see how we go there. But that is coming up on the 28th, so it's only about 2 days away. There is a countdown for for Vault, and that is coming up. So if you go to Mike Dean's dashboard, you can see the upcoming projects. It is number 1 at the moment. So I'll post the link to Titan X Hub. This is kind of where they are all being listed as they get to a certain level of maturity. Kind of cool. MB says, how is Dragon X doing? Well, we're talking about it now, so we'll get to it. And that is the link there to Titan X Hub there. All right, so Vault is next, and you got a countdown on there at the moment. 2 days, 13 hours and 7 minutes. It's got all the links, right? The white paper. It's got the Telegram and, of course, the X account. Now, we'll quickly look at the tokenomics quickly. It's going to be obviously a big deal here. Deflationary token, huge buy and burn, perpetual auction system, full token distribution in 10 days. So that's a little bit of counterintuitive, right? So what it does for this perpetual auction is recycle some of the distribution. That's the logic there. 80% of the Titan X is used to buy Vault, so it's got a big buy burn there. and of course going to have liquidity bonding to Titanx in a V3 pool, and a couple of other mechanisms there, the Treasury Vault and the Vault Wheel there. Now, we want to go to distribution quickly to look at that, and I wanted to show you that Titanx burn. So 4% is sent into the DragonX Vault. So now we've got Hydra, we've got Flux, and we've got Vault coming up on the 28th. That's all going to benefit DragonX. So DragonX becoming a real super whale in the system, right? Store of value on top of Titanx itself, the medium of exchange. So that's kind of the play on that one. And so, yeah, it's going to be friendly fun. Now, I actually really like the idea of this because the first 10 days, the 100 million Vault tokens will be auctioned daily, right? So 1 billion tokens going to be pretty much out. The total amount's going to be 1,055 million. And, of course, that's going to be reflect 50 million go to LP pools, and 5 million tokens will be paired with Titanx to start the LP pool. So there's actually going to be a real limited amount. I really like this part of the tokenomics, right? With an 80% buy and burn, this thing could really fly, guys. Could really fly. So really excited about where that's heading. Definitely do your due diligence on that, but hopefully I'll get the founder in before that. Maybe tomorrow's show is the target there. So I'll be talking more about Vault tomorrow. But yeah, that's looking kind of cool. And with the perpetual vaults thereafter, it looks pretty fun. So that is kind of the play there at the moment. The other thing that we've seen, of course, is Titan Farms. This is going to come in October, and that's going to benefit Flux, right? Sorry, benefit DragonX. So this is DragonX going to get benefit from Vault. Then we've got Titan Farms coming in October, early October, probably first half at least. And, of course, that's going to favor DragonX, Titanx, and Hydra, and perhaps Hyper as well. Those core four are going to be benefited big time from the farms. Now, these farms are different to other farms that we're going to have out there. The LP is going to be very sophisticated. You're going to see mechanisms that I'm not aware of being used at all. They can target just buy, they can target just burn, they can do all sorts of clever things. They can bring in not only Titanx LP pools into the farms, but also non-Titanx farms as well. So we could have very big communities with LP pools being enticed to come into Titan farms because they're going to earn this really cool incentive token think, and also have other dynamics in there as well. So this could be really huge, this Titan farms, particularly big for Hydra. So if you thought Hydra already looked good by capturing all that value, doing the big buy and burn, it could really get even bigger in October. This is perfect timing, not only for Titanx, DragonX, and Hydra and Hyper. It is a big, big deal. So it's going to help turn those. Now, the other thing is also, you know how we've got the buy and burns operating in these protocols? Well, this is also going to be able to do more, have more tools to adjust the buy and burns, to get them to accelerate mechanisms in the ecosystem for Titanx, also to incentivize behavior as well with the Tink token there, which will be deflationary as well. There's going to be deflationary incentive tokens. So really cool. A lot of cool stuff coming for this Titan Farm. Really excited about that. Can't say enough good stuff about it. Obviously, we've got Element 280 coming as well. Second DeFi, so first DeFi Titan Farms, Element 280 as well. And of course, Ouroboros, the big lending stablecoin as well. So Element 280 is, of course, going to buy up more. So we're going more buy pressure. So the first half of October is looking very, very good indeed. And we may have Felix out and maybe Awesome X as well. Now, Awesome X is the only one I'm really not happy with at the moment. And I really don't like the distribution. So just take note account. I'm not really a big fan of that one. But you know, let's see where it goes there. Now, that's kind of the pro so far on that. And then, of course, you can see the list of the upcoming projects at the moment. So super bullish on Titanx, super bullish on Vault, super bullish on E280, and, of course, the Ouroboros as well, which is on here, ORX token. Those are really looking hot. And, man, what a roadmap coming out. You can see that's awesome. Just in October. Look at October. Looks brilliant. And so, yeah, we may get Viper as well. That benefit, potentially benefit, I think that's either Hyper, I think it is benefiting. I can't remember now, but I think it's Hyper possibly. And, of course, that's going to be pretty cool too. So, yeah, it's either Hydra or Hyper. I just can't remember now. But, yeah, then at the end, of course, of October, we got the 3rd of October. We got the big giant 369 payout. So DragonX is going to get that Sega payout. Remember, that 44.5% is going to go buy Titan. All of it's going to go, you know, pretty much all of it's going to go buy Titanx. 44.5% is going to go and buy Titanx and stake it. So this is going to become an even bigger whale, probably well over 50% of the pool, if it's not there already through Hydra. And of course, then it's going to be 44.5% is going to buy and burn the old DragonX itself, in addition to all the other buy and burns from all the other protocols, Vault, Flux, and all the benefits from Titan Farms, Element 280, etc. This thing is about going to get legit in October, and yeah, it's going to be pretty fun. Now, obviously, moving into November, we're going to have even more protocols, including potentially X28. Whatever's left of Titan X, it's probably going to get burned through X28. It's going to be pretty exciting to see that. And of course, maybe we even get Shadow Protocol later on. Obviously, we've got many other protocols that are not even on the list yet, some in concept phase as well. So I think we've probably got somewhere between 30 and 40 projects at the moment in the mix here for the Titan X. This thing's about to go explosive. And of course, if crypto takes off in October and we're on a bull run for Christmas and then into the new year, this thing is just perfect timing, right? Perfect timing. So, you know, get your positions and all that sort of stuff. It is pretty cool. Now, I just want to highlight a few of these projects, in particular Flux, which is obviously just launched recently. I wanted to highlight some of the performance in Flux. So let's go to that. This is the last project to launch, Benefits Dragon X and Titan X. Benefits Inferno and Titan X, I should say. So let's have a look at the results so far. So I had a pretty good auction last night. I didn't actually see the number. So if you do know the number, let me know in the chat. But this actually has been performing very well. I think if this can do 200-300 billion a day, that's a very good result. And I think it pretty much did that in the last couple of days and more. I think the first day was like $500 billion. And yeah, so we got 86 billion so far in there, and it's 16 hours. So we're a third way in the day on day 4, and it's doing very well indeed. So I'm pretty happy with that. I don't know what the ROI was for the closing auction. It closes during while I'm asleep, so that's why I don't get to take snapshots or anything like that. But doing pretty well. The rewards at the moment is looking pretty good. The 8-day payout, of course, is pretty juicy. $212,000, 390 billion Titan X in there. It's got 28-day payout, the 88-day payout, and of course the 777-day payout. That's only eligible to voluntary max stakers. So you have to go stake here and then max it out, right, voluntarily with the old Flux tokens. The burn is looking better than I think a lot of people expected. It is looking pretty good there. So today's distribution is a 405 billion Titan X. That's huge. That's a huge amount, right? And of course, the burn so far today out of that 400 so far today is 136 billion has been burned. And of course, left to burn today is 269. So that's for day 4. Pretty cool. Now, day 5 distribution is still looking very good as well. 126 billion in day 5. So that's looking really, really nice. And you got to remember that the rewards for day 8 are coming out on day 8. So we're in day 4. Day 5 is looking pretty good. Day 7, we're going to get a rally into day 6, 7. It'll be interesting for day 8. Obviously, if you go to the calculator, you can kind of see the staker rewards. So if you were to stake, for example, $428 is 100 million Flux at the moment. You're going to get $165 back on that 428 on that 100 million stake at the moment on that 8-day payout. Pretty good. So obviously you're going to get paid out in future 8-day payouts and 28-day payouts as well. So if this continues to turn over a couple $100 billion, it's going to be a pretty good little earner, particularly if you're in early, right? There's always tricky these ROI things, but that's kind of the play here at the moment. And it will likely possibly benefit from Element 280 in October, and of course also, or November, if it launches by November. It's hard they're doing a launch phase of 28 days, so it's hard to know when they're actually going to launch that, whether it's at the end, it'll be November, right? And of course, obviously Titan Farms, if it gets added to that, and of course Ouroboros, the stablecoin platform, lending platform, that'd be another key one there too. So lots of drivers there. And of course, by the time we get to the 5th of October, we've got our last trillion-day candle coming out, right? So that's going to be pretty important. So far, doing pretty well is, I think, the Flux there. So pretty happy with that. In addition to Hydra, right, with all the hundreds of billions going through Hydra in terms of Titan X. So really doing pretty good there. Now, obviously, that's going to benefit Inferno. And of course, Inferno there. Let's go to I didn't actually look at the chart on that one. Let's go to Inferno. This is the chart on Inferno. Obviously came back quite a bit. Really aggressive selling there. Obviously, a lot of people made lots of profits up here. So when we got that downtrend, there's a lot of profit taking. And of course, we saw those accounts doing that. In terms of Inferno itself, how much has it got left in its burn? So it's got the Flux helping to burn, which you can see on the stats page. If you go to the stats page, you can jump over to how much Flux has been burned. Remember, it's buying a lot of Inferno, but it burns 20% or something like that. So at the moment, we've got how much Helios there sent to Helios. Was the Inferno there? Inferno here, yeah. So almost 30 billion has been burned so far by the protocol in 3 plus days, about $55,000 worth. But of course, it's buying a lot more than that as well. I think like 36% or something. So that is the play there. And let's go back to Inferno. At the moment, Inferno has 390 billion Titan X left in it for the buy and burn. It's 260,000. That's come down a lot, right? So remember, it's doing about 50% a week, and of course, it goes through a lot more percentage on Thursdays. It does 10%, Fridays 15%, Saturdays 15%, whatever's left, and that 50% that's allocated for that. So that's come down a lot, 390. So a few more days of these high mints that we're just entering. So we might see some real nice little push with the old Inferno price leading in the next couple of days. So it's going to be interesting to see where that will turn around at all as well, because it's going to have a lot of buy and bear pressure there. But, you know, what do the whales do? What do the people that have made a lot of gains do? Now, it looks like total 45% is now burned. So it's deflationary. There's going to be more protocols coming on top of it, of course. So you've got to have a bit of patience with that. But, of course, Flux is doing not too bad at the moment. So it is probably just going to have a bit of patience with this one. Total Inferno minted there, 45% is now gone, a burger forever. So when cycle 8 finished, that was sitting around about 41%, 40%. That has now gone up to 45%. And, of course, Flux is going to add to that in any other protocol that they launch on top of this as well. That's kind of a bit of a quick summary there at the moment on that. And what else? Did we want to talk about anything else? We've got Flux, talk about Inferno. Let's see what else. DragonX. Now, DragonX, let's talk about that briefly because that's pretty bullish. And yeah, look at this ratio. The ratio is just insane. It is sick. So it came back a little bit, but look at this ratio. It is really impressive. Look at that ratio. It is 19.98 again. It's going back to 20. Is this about to blow 20? It looks like it, doesn't it? Looks like it's about to go over 20 and stay over 20 for a while. I don't know. It's going to be pretty awesome. Now you got to remember, but previously we had this pullback in the ratio to TitanX, right? And of course we had it back here. It was like a 5x difference between like 15 and 9.4 TitanX per one DragonX. Then we had this bull run. But what's the difference now? The difference now is that we have Hydra, and Hydra is huge, right? So Hydra is just buying up so much of it, and then you can go down here and check that out, right? So you can see all the buys coming in on the Hydra. It's pretty impressive. And of course, it's buying up more and more and more, right? So more DragonX being bought up, which is pretty cool. I think that's the right one here. Yeah. So if you have a look, you can actually see when the price of DragonX, we just had this flush out over the last 24 hours where the prices all come down in the TitanX ecosystem, right? But in terms of Hydra, it was just kept buying DragonX, right? So pretty awesome. And you can see that the cheaper the price, the more it buys, right? So the price up here, let's have a look here. This is a day ago on this particular example. So the price was at 13.73 and it was buying 273 million DragonX with 5.27 billion TitanX, right? Which is locked into that buy for the old Hydra. And of course, now the prices are cheaper. 12.69. It's buying less there. So that's this, what's that one there? 6.9 there. So it's buying less. So you can see how that moves around. I actually want a better example than that, but they're all pretty simple. Right. So this one here, yeah. So you can see when the price was down at 12.90. So the ratio changes, right? We can see that it's only 188 million. But by the time we got up here, we had a bigger buy and burn, and it was at 300 million. So as you change the amount in the buy and burn, as you change the ratios change, you're going to get a different buy and burn amount. So obviously the lower the ratio and all that, it's going to be a bigger buy and burn versus TitanX. So TitanX will become more powerful, purchasing power of DragonX, and of course it's going to burn 20%, right, of the DragonX as well. So not only does it buy tons of it, but it burns 20% of it as well, and that ignores the fact that it's also giving 20% of the TitanX to DragonX to go staking as well. So that's why DragonX is getting so powerful there. And look, we're at 19.98. That is incredible. So good. So that's looking pretty good there. And yeah, the whales is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. In fact, have we got more to stake on the old DragonX? We got 75 billion in there as well. So another 25 billion TitanX that goes into here via Hydra. This is going to stake another 100 billion, right? And it's already got over 12 trillion staked already. So it's going to be a huge payout there. Going to be pretty epic. So DragonX goes from strength to strength. Looks like it's about to go over 20 and stay over. We shall see. Got Hydra sitting in behind it now. It is powerful. How many tens of X's TitanX to one DragonX is it going to be? I know that Eric's got many of them in the play there. And of course, this is going to benefit hugely from, Titan Farms, right? Titan Farms. It's also probably going to benefit big from Ouroboros and, of course, Element 280 when it gets launched It's pretty awesome. Now, what else are we going to talk about? Titanx. Let's quickly look at that. Obviously, that came down, and we've talked about that to some degree. But yeah, the price moving up now. Obviously, when Titanx goes down lower in price versus Ethereum, right? So if we get rid of our overlays here and let's go full screen, and we'll switch over to Ethereum, then it's cheaper to do hydro miners, right? So if you can do hydro miners, it's cheaper. You can buy Titanx cheaper with Ethereum if the price goes down. So any of these dips means that it's a lot better chance to do hydro miners. And of course, also do Flux. If you want to buy Titanx with Flux, you can do that too, right? So anything that you need to buy Titanx with in terms of Ethereum, you can do that. Obviously, hyper miners require Ethereum, but if you're going to pick up Titanx, you can pick it up cheaper on these pullbacks, right? We know that Titanx is going to go hyper deflationary soon. We've only got we're in our second day of 5 trillion candles in September. The last one. We only got 6 trillion candles left, and then in October we only got 2. Right, so things are about to change pretty fast in Titanx, and we've got protocols like Hydra and Flux operating. It is going to be pretty badass, right? So yeah, just remember that's going to happen pretty fast. And then of course, by the time we get to November, we're going to have all that big buy and burn from Dragon with the 369 payout. I suspect a lot of the retail book that are getting staker payouts too are going to be doing a lot of stuff, reinvesting back into the Hex system. And in November, we could very well have E28 multi, the Omni chain protocol, burning all the Titanx that goes into it. It's going to be epic, right? And of course, Titanx is going to spread its wings to other chains, so it's going to be pretty powerful. Game on, right? So 3 DeFi protocols in October, the big super Omni chain in November. This thing is going to be legit. And of course, the bull market as well. I guess the only thing that people agree on is that people need to get out and market and spread the word. The number of holders continues to grow, but it can grow 10x holders. I mean, get the network effect as well as the tokenomics and money effects that are in play. So looking pretty good there. There's the old Titanx there. And of course, you can go in and do more hydro miners and stuff like that. So it's not bad. What else are we going to say about this? I think that's kind of it at the moment. The hydro mine, of course, has got the same burn effect, right? So we can see that we're burning about $1,100 at a time on the burn, which is pretty cool. And that is burning different amounts. Let me just find a good example there. We'll go back here. I'm not sure how many this has done, but let's have a look. Some of the buy and burns. Obviously, the cheaper the ratio. So at the moment, the ratio is. Let me pull that up on the chart. But the ratio at the moment on DragonX is sitting at. Let me just go to hourly there. I've got the buy and burns on here, but the hourly ratio has gone down. So it's the ratio to Titanx. It's at ratio to DragonX. I should say Hydra to DragonX is 0.74. So it's gone down. So that means it's more effective if you've got DragonX because the ratio of Hydra is lower. You're going to burn a lot more Hydra, right? So this is really bullish. Even when the price pulls back, it's going to get rid of a lot more Hydra. So that's a bullish thing long term. So if you're mining Hydra, there's less Hydra going to be around, right? Because the buy and burn is more effective. So that's the upside. Even though the price goes down, you got portfolio value goes down arguably, but actually it's bullish from a longer term point of view on the ratio. So I thought that was cool to say. What else? Yeah, so we've got the price here, for example, there. We've got 102 on this burn, but it looks like we've got 116 million Hydra burn on this one. So you can see the difference here is 14 million there. So you get the idea. It's kind of the idea there. All right, kind of cool. And that is it on that one. And I think is that what we're going to talk about? No, we're talking about future supply. I think we're going to wrap it up with future supply. How much, just to visualize this, always good. You can see how much do we have out today, actually. We had out today, we had 1.32 trillion. Remember, we're on the second day of 5 days of trillion candles, 1 trillion candles. And I think today's one's 1.6, tomorrow's 1.6. And then we got just over 1 trillion after that. And then the 30th of October is about half a trillion. So we drop off there. So let's have a look at those. So this is the one we had. I think we finished that one. Yeah, yesterday. This is our one today. So we're expecting 1.67 trillion Titanx coming out today. And then we've got 1.63 trillion tomorrow. And then we've got 1.1 trillion the day after. Then we got 1.4. Those are our 5 trillion candles at the end of September. Then we drop off on the 30th of September down to half a trillion. Then when we move into October, let's go into October. Let's go use a longer roadmap here, the 90 days. Once we go into October, we've only got these two ones left, these ones here. So we've got 1 trillion and another 1 trillion on the 2nd and 5th of October, and then it's just downhill from there. So you can see by the time we get to mid October, which is right here, we're really getting down to the point where on the 18th of October we have no more half of a trillion candles, so 500 billion that will disappear, and pretty much it's game on, right? Game on. But we're going to have all these DeFi protocols coming out in this early part of October, and all these other protocols. So man, the buy and burns, the farms, the DeFis, it's going to be pretty fun to see all this play out. The other thing, of course, by the end of October, the 30th, which is right here, we're going to have the 369 payout. DragonX going to go buying up a lot more TitanX and burning it. So it's going to be pretty awesome. And how many days are we away? 34 days, I think, 35 days away from that. So yeah, 34 days maybe away from the 369 on the 30th of October. It's going to be fun. All right, so that's an hour and 10 minutes. I think we've done enough on that. Now, if you guys want to get into more alpha on multi-chain stuff like TitanX, just jump into the Discord, $35 a month to join up for that. Really good value, multi-chain opportunities, and posting another one today in the strategy clubs to join up today. For that, the link's in the video description. MVS says, what about Hydra? Yeah, talked about Hydra there. You have to be in our strategy club for the inside alpha on that. Yeah, 19.98 on DragonX. Absolutely amazing ratio to TitanX. We've got Kay Hudson in the house there. Get up. Let's go, says Kay Hudson. Absolutely. This stuff's looking really fun, man. The next couple of months, it's going to be absolutely awesome. And I hope you guys make mad gains for everybody. And remember, once we get near that top on the way up, I mean, all you have to do is take some profits and remember to sell before the top. That's the only thing you have to do. Once you've found the real gems, and of course, we talk about ones that we think are going to be awesome, Pulsechain, TitanX, of course, X1 chain, things like that. Then that's all you have to do. Don't ride down the top of the bull market when it comes, whether it's next year sometime or whatever. But it's going to be a lot of fun. All right, take care. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, hit the bell. I'll catch you again on tomorrow's show. I'll be in Discord, of course, so you can catch me up there. Take care and bye for now. And to the moon, as we say. I just want to say, man, I'm so excited for that MAFIA Metaverse and the play to earn. It really is fun. And if you haven't joined the MAFIA, definitely consider joining. And, of course, join the #1 family there, the directorate, and meet some of our leadership there. Max Payne doing a great job as the Capitacina. All right, take care. Bye for now.